This video is part of the Good Intentions Stitch Along series by Chrissy Crafts. Other videos are available in the series. Thanks for watching and happy stitching! Hello my lovely stitchers. Today we're going to add some more texture and depth to our Good Intentions wreath by adding lazy daisy stitches for some leaves and some flower buds. I've started doing a few here. Here's some buds and some leaves down here. On my other finished one, I'll show you. I did them with ribbons here, but also you could see a couple green leaves. They're very subtle, but they just add a little bit of depth and texture. So I have already started, so I have 2 strands of green embroidery thread in my needle. I'm going to do it, let's start right here between these leaves on the white bit so you can see. So you want to pull your needle through. I'm going to put them quite close to the buds. And then you're going to go back down into the same hole. But don't pull it taut. You're going to make a leaf. Can you see that? You can make a leaf. So I'm going to come up about there. And pull slowly, and you'll see it holds that thread there. And then what you're going to do is go down on the other side of the thread. So where that loop is right now, you can see it there. I'm going to come down on the other side of it to kind of hold it in place. There. You could see close up, you could see that little stitch. I've exaggerated it a little bit. And I've exaggerated the loop. The interesting thing with lazy daisy stitches, I'll do another one next to it. It all depends on your tension and the sizing of your loop. You can make them long and thin. You can make them short and quite round. So if I do that again, oops, there I'm tugging, you can see. If I do it right next to the first one, this time I'll pull a little more taut instead of being rounded. See, it goes a little closer, more lean. I'm also making these stitches too big because I'm working at an angle. Let me try another one. Let me do one here, down by this big rose. Go for a bit of a little leaf right there. I won't leave it too round because then it's hollow. The other thing you could do, which I've done before, is make one quite rounded and hollow and then use a tonal shade of green inside and make a smaller lazy daisy inside the first one. I'll tell you an example of that in a minute. And then if you pull a little tighter, then you get more of a thin leaf shape. And you can see I've done very small ones with these buds. I'll do one more leaf and then we'll do some buds to show you those as well. It's worth playing around with some lazy daisies for different sizes and lengths and shapes because they'll vary quite a bit. And also with your tension and how tightly you pull the thread at the back. Now let's do 1 or 2 buds. I've decided to put whatever this plant is, I'm putting some buds on it. Making up my own flowers. So I think it's that color of thread I bought. Maybe it's the darker one. No, it's this one. And for this, I'm going to go very tiny. Just one little tiny buds. Be very careful that you don't pull too tight. If you have to, even just kind of secure it with your thumb to keep it in place while you pull at the back. There you go. And you can see here I used the darker right here. That's the darker thread right next to the lighter thread. So I made that one a little more narrow and added a little darker one next to it, which I plan to do more of. I like layering up the colors. So down here I could put next to this darker one, I'll put one of the lighter ones as well now. Lazy daisy stitches are very, very good for petals around a flower. So if you're obviously doing daisies, then you could do a bunch of these little stitches around a yellow center and do them in white, or echinacea I've used it for as well. It's fabulous for lavender because, like I was talking about with the leaf, like this one here, you do one shade of purple and then overlap it in the middle with a tonal shade of purple, and with lavender it looks really lovely. I'll see if I have some lavender to insert a photo here. Anyway, that is the Lazy Daisy stitch. It's worth giving it a go and seeing the different ways you could get tiny stitches or longer stitches. It's a very versatile stitch, and it just adds a little bit of extra depth to your stitching. So give it a go, and as always, hashtag your makes with the Good Intentions SAL, S-A-L, and tag me, Chrissy Crafts, on Instagram if you want to show me your progress. Next time we'll be doing French knots. I've got a super trick to making perfect French knots every time, and it adds such a great bit of texture and finishing touches to this. And then after that, we'll be talking about how you finish, how you tuck in your fabric, how you treat the hoop, how you make it a presentable piece of work. We're nearly there, everyone. Happy stitching!